Hola, hello, bonjour, bonjour, hello, because today is Pan American Day. Hopefully I post this on Pan American Day, April 14th, the 136th anniversary of the OAS, the Organization of American States. Ever since humans walked on the Americas, people of the Americas have always been united. Through colonization, through slavery, through wars, through everything, we've always stuck together because we are all, at the end of the day, Pan-Americans. And today we face a crisis. From Nunavut to Argentina, we face one common enemy, cartels, and of course China and Russia. Cartels have ravaged our streets. They have destroyed millions of lives. They have caught civilians in the crossfire. They've tortured and murdered thousands. We as Pan-Americans have to unite together against this common goal. And across Pan America, especially in Latin America, people are poor, people are starving, and people can't live. That's why together we must unite as a common entity, as a common American, Pan-American entity, together to solve all of our problems. And here's how we're going to do it. Number one, and the most important one, a Pan-American FTA.
A renewed effort of this very positive project. It's almost since 20 years we are not talking about it, a Pan-American free trade.
This was proposed in the 90s, but was never implemented. First, we need to create a BLT, a bilateral land and trade agreement between the US and Canada, aka EU-style trade agreement between the two. Then, we will destroy NAFTA and expand it into PAFTA, the Pan-American Free Trade Agreement. This is crucial to combating poverty, and this is crucial to uniting the Americas under one economic zone. We must create a NATO-style organization across every country in the Americas except the tyrannies, like Venezuela, Nicaragua, and Cuba. This will be crucial to combating the bastions of tyranny and to combating the cartel. And speaking of the cartel, we must have a unified Pan-American front against cartels. By number one, using our leverage with Venezuela to get them to stop funding and helping narco-terrorists and cartels in Colombia that are destroying that beautiful country. Number two, the NATO-style organization must be a part of the OAS. It cannot be independent because we must have one unified organization. Now, everyone in the OAS does have to be a part of it, but it has to be a branch of the OAS. We must, number three, attack the funding of the cartels by making it easier to seize their assets, decriminalize drugs in the US and Canada, and forcefully replace everyone in rehab so that they don't use again. This will cut off the funding to the cartel because that's where they get most of their money from. And this should also be implemented in the rest of Latin America. This has been proven to work in Italy. Italy had a major mafia problem. You probably know it quite well. Very similar to modern day Mexico, but the way they stopped it. The mafia still existed in Italy, but they forcefully took all the assets from the mafia, made it easier to take the assets from the mafia, and this made it so that flashy stuff like shootouts, killing people, torturing, this made it a lot riskier to do those things because it would cut off your funding. So they stopped doing these things. The mafia still exists in Italy. It just isn't as loud and violent as it used to be. And the biggest way to fight against the cartels is to make it so people have jobs and people can live normally in Latin America. They wouldn't be moving towards the cartel if they actually had normal jobs to work towards. So we must work together as a Pan-American community to improve each other's equality. So together as Pan-Americans, we should work together to improve the economies of each other by funding struggling nations like the EU does with Eastern Europe, because Eastern Europe was destroyed, and now it's getting closer to being a first world country like Britain or the US because they are part of the EU, and the EU helps them a lot. That's what we should do with Latin America. And when we make the economies of every nation in Latin America extraordinarily better, cartel activity will go down tenfold, because no one will want to work for the cartel when they can get a normal, high-paying, legitimate job. And speaking of the EU, we must have a united Pan-American Parliament which can create and vote on Pan-American laws, and this Parliament must be elected by the entirety of Pan America. And to show that we mean business and to show that we are united, strong, and powerful, the OAS, in coordination with the UN, should intervene in Haiti, get rid of its gang problem by force, and bring it back into the OAS and restore democracy in Haiti. Because gangs have ruined that country completely. It is total anarchy in Haiti. This is on America's doorstep, and we're doing nothing about it. That's disgraceful. We must end the gang problem in Haiti now with UN OAS intervention. And last but not least, we must have complete sanctions from all of the Americas on our common enemies, Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, and Russia. Thank you everyone for watching, and I hope you have a very happy Pan American Day.